Gladys!
You see, I knew it. One comes to recognize these shady art dealers, you know.
That was Gladys Pendlebury. She painted the picture.
Oh, poor girl. You should have told me, Bertie. Had I known she was responsible, I would have been more forthright in my criticism.
You could hardly have been more forthright, Aunt Agatha, without physical violence.
It is as well for a young girl to be aware of her shortcomings early on in life. But to get back to Claude and Eustace, they leave tomorrow morning.
But aren't they in the middle of their term at Oxford?
They were expelled a month ago.
We behaved badly. We realize that. Very badly.
Do be still. Their father is determined that they shall start life anew in the colonies.
Their father's been dead for years.
It is but a veil, Bertie. The veil can be pierced. Until they sail, they're in your charge.
Mine?
You will put them up here tonight and see that they're at the docks, ready to board the Pride of Natal tomorrow morning.
Jolly decent of you to put us up, Bertie, old thing.
Oh, not at all. No, I only wish it was staying a good long time.
You hear that, Eustace? He wishes it was for a good long time. What do you propose to do, Bertie, in the way of entertaining your handsome guests tonight?
Well, I suppose we could have a bit of dinner in the flat.
And afterwards?
Afterwards. Well, I thought we might chat of this and that, and then it struck me that you'd probably want to turn in early, because your boat sails first thing in the morning.
Chime. My diary stands at empty stocks, not worth a dime. I love you and I'll need you till the end of time. But when will the pendulum swing? Time without end, without her friends, without I spend time.
No more champagne. No, I want to go home.
Good afternoon, sir.
Oh, Jeeves. Jeeves, I'm getting too old for all this. I feel like something has been rejected by the Pure Food Committee. What time is it?
Just before 1 o'clock, sir.
What? The boat!
I put Mr. Claude and Mr. Eustace into a taxi for the docks myself at 7:30, sir.
Oh, thank heavens, Jeeves. A1. Well, at least I may have satisfied the scourge. What on earth am I going to do about Gladys, Jeeves? Aunt Agatha's behaviour really was beyond the rabbit-proof fence.
Indeed, sir. Would you prefer breakfast or luncheon, sir, when you're dressed?
Oh, breakfast, I think, Jeeves. No need to let standards drop. Just run my bath, will you?
Very good, sir.
Hello? What ho, Bertie? Had a nice, refreshing sleep?
You're meant to be in South Africa.
It's like this, old man. You remember that wonderful singer you introduced me to at Ciro's last night?
Marion.
Marion. We're soulmates, Bertie.
Oh, rubbish.
Soulmates. Anyway, I gave old Eustace the slip at the customs shed and slid back here. Is that breakfast you're having or lunch? I'll go and see what old Jeeves can rustle up. I'm famished. Smooth work, Bertie. Smooth work.
Oh, my aunt, what are you doing
I
here?
eluded poor old Claude in the customs shed and snaked off in a taxi. If you seriously expected me to go sloping off to South Africa, you shouldn't have introduced me to Marion last night. What a girl, Bertie.
Yes.
I'm not a man who falls in love with every girl he sees, Bertie. I suppose strong and silent are the best adjectives you could find for me. But when I do meet my affinity... What do you think you're doing here? Have you come back to inflict your beastly society on Miss Wardour? Is that why you sneak back here in this underhand fashion? Underhand? I like that. Well, may the best man win, that's what I say.
Never mind about the best man. What about me? Suppose Aunt Agatha finds out. What time did Mr. Claude and Mr. Eustace get in last night, Jeeves?
One at 3:45, sir, and the other at 3:50.
How do they do it, Jeeves?
Well, sir, I read an article last week in Scientific American which propounded the theory that we all contain something which it called a body clock. In the very young, this mechanism acts less like a clock and more like the mechanical toy which runs randomly around the floor at high speed, only changing direction when it bumps into an obstacle.
Yes, well, all I hope is the spring unwinds before they bump into my Aunt Agatha.
Indeed, sir.
Meanwhile, we can only watch and pray. Miss Pendlebury is still proving obdurate, Jeeves. She wouldn't answer my telephone calls yesterday.
In my experience, ladies who spell Gladys with a W are seldom noted for their reliability, sir. It gives them romantic notions.
With a W, Jeeves? No. Spell it with a G.
If I might draw your attention to the signature on the portrait, sir.
Good Lord. G.W.
I blame Alfred Lord Tennyson and his Idylls of the King, sir. It also accounts for Catherine, Isobel, and Ethel, all spelt with a Y. But Gladys with the W is a particularly virulent form, sir.
Well.
Come on, Bertie. We are going out to celebrate my engagement.
Engagement, Tubby? You mean the poor unwitting girl said yes?
She did. I told her. I said, I may be poor but honest now, but we could soon change all that. In a couple of months' time, I'll have the whole of New York at my feet. Well, all the ones who like soup, anyway.
And she fell for it?
She saw reason, Bertie. Hook, line, and whatchamacallit. But it's the truth, isn't it? I mean, old Slingsby thinks my cock-a-leaky recipe's the bee's knees. I mean, his lawyers are drawing up a contract and everything.
Well, congratulations, Tuppy. I always said that one day your talent would be recognised. Well, come along, lunch is on the...
Good afternoon, Mrs. Gregson.
Jeeves, where is my nephew?
I regret to say that Mr. Wooster is not at home, Mrs. Gregson.
You may be surprised to learn, Jeeves, that I saw Mr. Eustace not 10 minutes ago.
But surely, Mrs. Gregson...
I plainly saw him, Jeeves, standing on the corner of 42nd Street and Broadway.
This is sinister news indeed.
My nephew was distinctly instructed to get those boys onto that boat. He was given that one small responsibility. What do you mean, sinister?
Did Mr. Eustace look pale, perhaps?
Pale? Well, yes, now you mention it, but, well, of course, with the life he's been leading.
And what precisely was he doing, Mrs. Gregson?
He was hailing a taxi.
I see, standing perhaps like this?
Yes.
I sincerely hope that all is well with the two young gentlemen.
Well, why shouldn't it be?
You'll pardon my saying, Mrs. Gregson, but Mr. Claude and Mr. Eustace are surely on board the SS Pride of Natal.